So, I just got back from my Zone 2 run where I did 7 miles at a very easy pace. And while I was out there, I was kind of thinking that my approach to this year's training is very different than my approach to last year's training. And for some reason, I decided to dig into the data that I accumulated over the past 2 years of training just to see how I'm benchmarking against last year's training, even with this different approach. And I was a bit surprised to see that my volume at this point, coming into February, is about the same as it was last year. But since I'm approaching this training from much more of a recovery and managing fatigue perspective, I just objectively feel 1,000 times better than at this point in my prep last year. So what I wanted to make clear going through this this current prep for Ironman Lake Placid 2025 is I'm definitely approaching this season with recovery at the forefront of my mind and managing the feeling, even though it's a bit subjective of a metric, managing the feeling that I am experiencing throughout my training as more of a guidepost to how the prep is going. Now, we'll see at the end of the day if it yields the results that I think it will, but so far, what I'm noticing is due to the reduced amount of stress that I'm holding around training and my approach in making sure to prioritize recovery and managing my effort more appropriately than I was this time last year. My hope is that it will lead to not only a more sustainable approach to my training where I can fit in everything else that I'm working on in my life, like my career, my work on the side that I've been trying to build, this channel as an example, managing all these efforts on the side while progressing in my training. And my theory is that by approaching my training from a state of lower stress and higher general training readiness and making sure to keep the spark in my training, so to speak, that by prioritizing that approach, I will turn out better results than last year, where it was very much a nose to the grindstone, burn the candle at both ends approach, where like a run like I did today, just a quick 7-mile run out in the cold and the snow, today it was enjoyable. Like I was out there, hour and 20 minutes, whatever it was, and I was having a nice time. I wasn't pushing the pace. I wasn't in pain. Like thinking back to even at this point in the training, which would have only been a month in last year, the pain that I was feeling in different parts of my body because of the amount I was pushing was enough to make any rational person want to stop training. And I carried that pretty much through my whole training, and it was extremely painful. It was tough, and my thinking is that maybe it was unnecessarily tough and I would have turned out better results had I managed my effort and my load better. So these are all lessons learned. Obviously, last year was only my second Ironman. So now going into the third with this thesis, I'm excited to see how it turns out, and obviously you will all be the first to know exactly how it turns out. So that's the first part of this video. The second part of the video is one of my buddies reached out to be trained by me for his first Ironman, and he's basically aiming to do the same race that I'm doing this year, which is awesome. So I'll get to, both train and race with one of my good friends, though hopefully I'm a little bit faster than he is. Probably not, maybe not, we'll see. I hope you're watching this. Anyway, but it made me realize, like, he has never been involved in the sport at all. So what I'm doing is I'm literally teaching him everything that he needs to know to get through his first Ironman triathlon. And luckily I captured everything that I could think of in at least like a first draft format in like a little book that obviously I've been aiming to sell on my website, but the thought is I'm gonna give it to him, and aside from like keeping track of everything that he asks and needs to know as he gets ready for this first race, like we had a sit down today, like a full 2-hour conversation about his getting ready for this race. So I thought it might be a good idea or a fun idea to any person who makes it to this part of the video, maybe the first 5 people who reach out, I'll send you a copy of my Ironman training plan or training program for free. So if you reach out in the comments or grab my email from my bio, email me that you want the Ironman Mastery training program, and if you're one of the first 5 people, then I'll send it over to you for free. So the catch is that I definitely want you to know what you think about it. So if you do read it and you do enjoy it, maybe as you're going through it, write down questions that you have about different sections where I can elaborate and eventually make it a better product. So purely doing this one to help 5 people in addition to my buddy learn everything that they need to know for their first Ironman. And part 2 is hopefully as you're going through it, you'll help me improve the product so that it will be even more valuable for the people that actually buy it. So that's all for today's video. If you enjoyed, if you made it to the end, and if you've been liking the content lately, please subscribe. And if not, then tell me what you think I can improve on. All right.